this is Shar of YellowYum and welcome back to my channel. Today will be a YellowMum video because I haven't really done this in a while, and I wanted to talk about a very important thing for me: breastfeeding. This is going out to expectant moms or expectant parents or new parents. Just wanted to share with you like my experience and also my knowledge on breastfeeding. Even though I am not a breastfeeding expert, I have been breastfeeding my daughter for 2 years and 9 months already. She's exclusively breastfed, and until now we're still nursing. So I think that kind of helps me become more confident in what I want to share and discuss with you. So before moving forward, let me just give you a brief history of breastfeeding and just a little story about me and my husband. I was formula fed and so was my husband, but that really didn't hinder us from deciding on breastfeeding. Early on, even though I wasn't married yet, I already knew that I wanted to try breastfeeding my kid. Because you always hear stories and the benefits of breastfeeding, so I figured why not at least try it. So my mom didn't really know much about breastfeeding because all 4 of us weren't really breastfed, so she didn't really know much. Also, the time I was born, formula was, I think, booming at that time. There was a rise in formula-fed babies, and I think even all my friends were all formula-fed because that's just the norm at that time. And so fast forward to meeting my husband. My husband used to breed dogs and personally delivered his dogs, and so he knows a lot about babies, puppies. He had a first-hand experience of breastfeeding puppies because obviously after delivery he needed to feed the puppies, so he would put the puppies beside their moms and just let them nurse. He also saw the difference of breastfed puppies versus the formula-fed puppies, and he knew and he saw that the breastfed puppies were plumper and healthier, and even their hair or their coats shinier. So when we finally decided to have a kid, we knew that we were going to breastfeed. So when I finally got pregnant, I already started researching on breastfeeding and other topics, but really more on breastfeeding because I had no idea whatsoever. When I was about 7 months pregnant, we attended a breastfeeding seminar. I was so fortunate that my husband came with me because honestly, there was a lot of things that you need to learn, and even like just for my husband to learn because he will be like my moral support, he will be my partner. We attended the seminar that was held in a hospital actually, and they talked about the different breastfeeding myths and also facts, positions, and even pumping and also storing your breast milk. I learned so much from that seminar that all of my pregnant friends or soon-to-be mom friends, I encouraged them all to attend a breastfeeding seminar because you just learn so much from it. It's not just reading about it, but all of the speakers are experts in this topic, and they share with us their experiences and all that stuff. And that's also a venue for you to ask your questions if you have any. Because both our families never breastfed or aren't really breastfeeding, there was a lot of battle and a lot of questions and remarks about breastfeeding, such as it's very painful, your breast will sag, and you won't have time for yourself because you're breastfeeding. Honestly, there was a time that I doubted like for half a minute. But every time I would doubt myself, my husband will always encourage me and remind me of all the benefits of breastfeeding for me and my baby. So because of that, I gained more confidence and trusted myself. I remember my friend telling me that her sister said that breastfeeding is really a mental thing. If you know or if you think that you have milk, then you will have milk. But if you start doubting yourself, then the problem begins. So when I finally delivered Robyn, I started breastfeeding right away. I had no problems whatsoever, no pain or whatsoever. I don't know if it's because of the anesthesia or the adrenaline or whatever, but I was just breastfeeding. So every time that she needed to be breastfed, I was there. I was ready for her. And then when I got back to my house after giving birth, so that was about day 4, day 5, that's when I started hurting. It started getting very, very painful. So this is something that expectant moms should know, that it really is painful during the first few days or first stage of breastfeeding. Think of it this way. Your breast or your nipple is closed. The pores are all closed. But the pores have to start opening and cracking up so that the milk will flow. Basically, that's how I would describe it. That pain that you feel is just temporary. Although it was really painful. I mean, I have to admit, it was really painful. Again, every time that I would feel that pain, like I really wanted to cry, my husband was there to tell me or to encourage me and to tell me that I'm doing a good job and this is just temporary. It's just that cycle. Also, because I was breastfeeding on demand, it was quite draining during the first stage. So that pain just lasted for a couple of days. I think I would say just during the first week or first 2 weeks of Robyn's life. After that, I kind of got numb already. I didn't feel anything anymore to the point that I can actually nap while breastfeeding. And of course, there's exhaustion as well. I was feeding on demand. I didn't really time her. Sometimes she would need to nurse after an hour, and because of that, I got really exhausted right away, and I just knew that it was a sacrifice that I had to make for my daughter and also for me, because there's also a lot of benefits for moms. Number one would have to be a lower risk of breast cancer. So that's just one benefit, and there's so much more. And so I knew that I just needed to sacrifice and persevere. And another problem that I encountered during breastfeeding is people saying negative comments and reacting negatively to me breastfeeding. And these comments usually come from people who didn't breastfeed, so they really don't know anything about breastfeeding. I remember one person telling me that Robyn's not gonna grow up independent because she was always beside me. And another comment is that my boobs are sagging, Robyn's tugging it. And then another comment is that I'm not giving enough to Robyn or tinitipid namin yung anak namin. And I tell you, these are little comments, but when you add them all, it just adds up and just makes you want to scream. And so I highly suggest that if you have nothing good to say about a breastfeeding mom or to a breastfeeding mom, just keep your mouth shut, because you have no idea how hard it is to breastfeed. It's no walk in the park, and it's not because we don't want the best for our baby or because we don't want to spend for our baby. It's actually the opposite. We want the best for our kid. That's why we're trying to breastfeed the kid. So I think those are really the major problems that I encountered during breastfeeding. And I'm just thankful because I am surrounded by really supportive people, especially my husband. I don't think that I'd be able to do this without him, because I remember during the first month or even the first 2 weeks, when I was feeling that pain, like that intense pain, I remember feeling very engorged. And since I couldn't move that much because I had a cesarean section, he was the one who would squeeze out the milk from my breast. I mean, it sounds so ridiculous, but he did it because he knew that I was really in pain, and he could see, like, Okay, this is a little TMI, but come on. The boobs will have just these different lumps because of all the milk, and it was really painful. So he helped me with that. Then I remember I also thought of pumping because I was just so engorged already. And when I told him about it, he immediately took the pump and washed it for me. But I decided to, you know, sacrifice and just hold it together until the 6 weeks mark, because they say that that's the best time to start pumping because your milk supply is stable already. I decided to wait for that, and I actually started pumping 9 weeks. I also had a problem bottle feeding Robyn because I waited a little longer. As I said, I started pumping 9 weeks, and they actually suggested that you can start, or they told us that you can start pumping at 6 weeks. And so I had a hard time choosing the correct nipple, correct bottle for Robyn, and it was difficult. And so I decided to just directly breastfeed her, kind of put my life on hold and just directly breastfeed her. I still continue to pump just so I have supply, or I have stock just in case I really had to go somewhere or I won't be able to bring her. But most of the time I just bring her with me, or I just stay home so I can breastfeed her. Again, these are little sacrifices that I feel were necessary in order to continue breastfeeding her and in order to give her the best that I can. Anyway, I listed a couple of things here that has really helped me during breastfeeding, and I just wanted to share them with you and talk about them briefly. So number one, a must-have for me is breast pads. So I started with disposable breast pads, and then I realized that they were really expensive. So I decided to buy washable breast pads. So I had washable and disposable breast pads. I used the breast pads until about 1.5 years, because I remember I had a leaking problem in a mall and it was so embarrassing. So because of that, I just wouldn't go out, or even at home, like I would still wear breast pads. When Robyn started dropping her feedings to maybe 3 or 4, then that's when I decided not to wear any more breast pads because I thought I didn't need it anymore. Second is a nursing pillow. This one actually you can use like a nursing pillow because that's what I used, or just pillows stacked up together. But the nursing pillow really helped me a lot, especially because I had a cesarean section. The shape of it, the U shape, really helped me, and I used that until Robyn was about 1 year old, and I tell you, it was so worth it. I actually didn't buy the very famous breastfeeding pillow because it was so expensive. I was able to find a very cheap alternative. It was around 300 pesos, and I got that from the brand Childcare. And then I just had a cover sewn for the breastfeeding pillow, and again, it was very helpful, especially because I had a cesarean section, so it just helped prop up the baby. The next thing is a nursing cover. Now, there's a big battle over nursing covers. Should you cover or not? My stand is the mom has to decide if she wants a breastfeeding cover or not, or a nursing cover or not. Society shouldn't decide for her, but rather she decides for herself. I personally wanted a nursing cover, not because other people told me to, but because I'm more comfortable that way. So that's just how I see it. Whatever makes the mom and the baby comfortable, then go for it. So with or without nursing cover, just breastfeed your kid. It really all depends on you. A lot of people ask me and are actually surprised that I'm still breastfeeding my daughter. So one thing that I took every single day for the first year of Robyn's life, or maybe 1.5 years, was malunggay capsules. I decided to just take the capsules instead of the leaves. Although sometimes like I would also eat the ones with leaves. I mean, I put it in our food, but most of the time it's just the capsule, because I read somewhere that one capsule is equivalent to how many leaves. So with that said, I thought that it was more potent that way. So I decided to take malunggay capsules. I take one a day. Then there was also a time when my supply decreased. I have no idea why, but I think it's because I wasn't drinking much water. So I decided to take 2 capsules a day. If you want to know the brand, I took Moringana because it's one of the less expensive malunggay capsules, and it worked for me. And then also, like what I said, water is your best friend. You have to keep hydrated in order to provide milk for your baby. And there was a time when I wasn't drinking that much water. Like, I keep forgetting, and I was just too tired to even drink water. My milk supply really decreased, so I had to make sure that I take lots of water, because that really helps replenish your milk. Also, being able to rest and have that clear and calm mind, because honestly, stress takes a toll on you, and when you're so stressed, I feel like your milk decreases. I don't know why, but it just does. And in my 2 years and 9 months of breastfeeding, I have experienced a lot of stressful days, and I saw it. Like, I saw the decrease of milk. And so, as much as you can, take a rest once in a while. Have a little you time or alone time. I know it's hard for us moms, but believe me, it really helps. Like, just get a massage or something, or even have a mani-pedi like time for yourself. This really helps clear your mind, and it will also help your milk supply. Nursing bras are also a must. I traded my old bras to nursing bras. Until now, I'm still using nursing bras. Okay? That's how much I love nursing bras. They're just more comfortable. They don't have wire, they don't have pads and all that. So they're very, very comfortable. They're so easy to open, and just easy access for your baby. And the last is the most important thing, a support system. Like what I mentioned, my husband is my support system. He's my rock, and he really helped me continue, and he was always just so encouraging. Even those times that I feel down and I doubt myself, he was always there pushing me and telling me that I can do it. And I tell you, that makes a whole lot of difference. Knowing that he supports me in this, and he knows how important it is without me nagging about it, is just so amazing and so wonderful, because I know that he is proud of me, and he's proud that I'm able to breastfeed my baby until now. Now, if you don't have that at home, go and try to find it elsewhere. There is a Facebook page called Breastfeeding Pinays for those people living in the Philippines. I am a member of that group or that forum, and I tell you, all of the members there are very, very supportive, and you learn a lot from them. If you have questions, they can answer these questions. If you don't have a support system at home, don't fret, because there are so many breastfeeding moms out there that's there to support you and to guide you all through your breastfeeding journey. If you are not breastfeeding, or if you are giving formula to your kid, or you're mixed feeding, it doesn't make you less of a mom. I hope that this video doesn't come out as just breastfeeding is the only way to go. It's not. I know that there are people who are more comfortable giving formula, or who don't have any choice but to mix feed or formula feed their babies. I salute you, moms. Moms are doing all the best that they can for their babies. May it be breastfeeding, formula feeding, whatever. You know your baby, you know your kid, and you know what they need. So just go with that. I myself was not breastfed, but I think I turned out okay. So I have no problems with formula fed babies or moms who decide to formula feed their babies. It doesn't make you a bad mom. You are still a good mom, just as long as you know what's good for you and your baby, and just as long as you try and do what's best for you and your baby. So that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoy this video. I know that it kind of is a long video, but there's just a lot of subtopics that I wanted to cover. It's been almost 3 years. I'm still enjoying it. I don't see weaning anytime soon. I'm waiting for Robyn to self-wean. I don't have any plans on weaning her. I'll let her decide. And so far, I'm breastfeeding about 2 to 3 times a day. I am pro extended breastfeeding, as you can tell, and there's just a lot of benefits also of extended breastfeeding. If you liked it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and also share this video to your expectant mom or expectant parents, friends, and relatives. And I will catch you in the next video. Don't forget to follow me on social media. All of the links will be below. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Bye! I will be talking about cloth diapers. I am no expert whatsoever in terms of cloth diapers. I have